seat with me. It is Passenger Seat Radio. April 22nd, 2025, another day in the office and a 4 o'clock meeting, which of course puts me smack down in greater Phoenix traffic. So what do you do when you are stranded in traffic? Your ride home looks like a complete mess. You get on YouTube and you do a show. Why not? So, so I've been asked like not more or not less than 10 times today what do I think about the Oblivion remaster from Bethesda. And so let's talk about that for a minute. Now, I haven't seen it. I know that they had a shadow drop of it today along with the trailer and the whole bit, and people are like short stroking it all over the place. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so I will, I will tell you up front, I am a Skyrim player, right? Between every version that I've played, the remastered version, the anniversary edition, this and that, on the Switch, on the PC, on the console, I have played more Skyrim than I care to admit. I just got cut off by a Tesla. I'm thinking about rear-ending the asshole. But maybe I won't. Not this time. I am going to try to get in this lane, though. See how this works out. I don't want to go on 10 West. So I'm a big Skyrim guy. Now, if you were to pull my Steam profile right now and look at my Steam profile, you would see I've got 500 something hours on Skyrim. So you don't understand and you don't like Bethesda, whatever reasons you might come up with saying why I don't give a shit about an Oblivion remaster, just understand that I got 500 fucking hours of playing its sequel. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So why don't I care? Well, for one thing, and I think I speak for a lot of people on this one. Fuck off, give us fucking 6. I want the successor to Skyrim, not its predecessor. And you know what? Listen, you've been freaking pork teasing us with that shit for years and years. And you know what you gave us instead of fucking the next Skyrim game, the next 6? You gave us fucking Starfield. What did you think that was going to hold us off and give us a bone? Dude, nobody even talks about, I don't know a single person that even plays that game, right? So instead of giving us 6, you give us Starfield. Now, instead of giving us 6, you're giving us Oblivion remastered? You know, so I've got a theory on this whole thing. Follow me on this one, because I think I've got the code cracked here as to why we're seeing constant remasters and all this shit instead of actually getting good games. Let me see if I can figure this one out. We'll do this together. $50. Yeah, okay. So one of my listeners chimed in and said $50. Nope, and that's exactly right. Now listen, when Sony started losing their mind and putting out remasters, it was $10 upgrade. Okay, listen, $10 for a remaster. All right, I can kind of get behind that. But $50, and then in some cases, these asshats go and delist the versions that you could actually buy that aren't that much money. That really, I mean, so what is it? Grand Theft Auto, right? They killed all of the original releases so they could sell you an AI upscaled fucking definitive trilogy. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. I am tired as a consumer. I am tired of being taken for granted, right? So, you know, and listen, just because, you know, listen, Witcher 3 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. I'm talking like top 3. It's my 3 change based on my mood. But Witcher 3, probably one of the greatest games in my entire lifespan, and I'm an old motherfucker, right? I did not like Witcher 2 and I did not like Witcher 1, and nor am I looking forward to remasters of either one of those games either. So, again, before you think, oh, you're just a Bethesda hater, blah, 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 no. I'm tired of this because I know what they're doing. I've got this figured out, and I'm going to share it with you. Here's what's going on. Have you noticed the incessant need for them to start delisting and stop supporting shit? The Crew, Ubisoft. Classic example of this. So you've got The Crew, beloved game, by the way. I'm not a fan, but that's okay. Racing and I, we have an understanding. There's only a very, very select few racing games that I actually like. And for me to say what kind of genre of racing I like, it doesn't really make sense. My favorite racing games involve weaponry or violence, and it has to be very arcade feeling, right? So think of things like Burnout. Yeah, I love Burnout, don't care about Forza, right? So, I mean, I'm very particular about my driving games. So The Crew didn't work out for me. That's okay. I understand that just because I don't like it doesn't mean that it can't be a beloved thing. World of Warcraft, don't get that, don't play that, have no desire to play that, but I understand its significance. So, The Crew, right? So essentially, this is where Ubisoft turned into shitheels, right? This is where they started, you don't own the games that you buy, and basically you should kiss our ass that we kept the servers on this long, blah, blah, blah. No, not you should hate our asses, because we've taken a game that could easily be played offline, and we've gutted it bow to fucking stern, and we're going to take our servers down and not release a patch to let the game continue to be playable in any means whatsoever. Now, normally the community would get in on things, right? So I guess there's community working on getting The Crew back up and running, right? And this is not unusual, right? A lot of games that are decommed get picked up by the community. Look at things like Pretendo, right? The Nintendo network for certain consoles are down, but people have stood up replacements. The Crew, they're trying to do that too, but they're running into a lot of problems. So what's the deal? Why do things like this happen? You think it cost them a shitload of money to maintain the Crew servers? We know that's not true. They're supposed to be this multi-billion-dollar gaming behemoth, but we can't keep the Crew servers online. Get the fuck out of here with that. We know better. We know. So why do they want it to go away? Because they want you buying new games. So here's the deal. This is what's going on. Now we understand as a community, right, that games get delisted due to licensing problems, which, by the way, is also bullshit in my opinion. If I make a Deadpool game and I have your permission, Mr. Marvel, I can make a Deadpool game. There should be no reason that game ever gets pulled. Same thing with the Nick at Night games. Those games all got pulled because Nickelodeon decided we just don't want to, or was it Adult Swim? It was Adult Swim, I guess. All of those things. So it's like, okay, why can a Deadpool game live for 4 years and then be jerked off the market? That's not even a thing. Imagine. I mean, the only reason that it happens is because it can happen. Think about this. If you bought a Blade game or Superman, you bought Superman for the Atari 2600. Was there some licensing thing where that game can't exist past 4 years? No. I can go right now, I guarantee I can go right now to any retro gaming store and pick up a copy of Superman on the Atari 2600, and I could play it today. If you want to play Deadpool, you're going to have to fork over like $400 for a key and hope to God that it's real, and buy a delisted copy of Deadpool. It's ridiculous. It's retarded. And I get that licensing is why a lot of games get pulled. But I think, and it's starting to become more and more apparent to me, that they've got it figured out. We don't want your new fucking games. You're making games that aren't for us anymore. Right? And I don't want to get in on the whole woke DEI sweet baby shit, right? Because while I do agree that social push, there's places for that in video gaming, just like all art forms. There are times to insert or represent, right? I'll give you a good example. I know I'm on all sorts of tangents here, but I'm trying to fill time. So look at Life is Strange. Great game, by the way. That game, there's a message in there. There is a tolerance, there's a representation of lesbianism, whatever, right? That game was fashioned around that concept, right? I mean, it wasn't something that was inserted or changed or, redesigned for modern audiences. We decided that we don't think that this looks good or that looks good, so we're going to take it out, right? Like they did with that Dead Space, right? They took out certain things, they changed things for no good reason, right? For no good reason. Listen, at least taking out swastikas out of a game might make sense, but I mean, even then, it's art, so leave it the fuck alone, right? Leave it alone. But my point is that they figured out that we don't want what they're selling. So here's what's happening now. If you follow along what's going on, you follow a few choice channels on YouTube, you can get a really good idea what's happening. So what's going on is course correction, right? So somehow, like 5 or 6 years ago, social justice had to be inserted into everything. That was the thing. That was the trend. And everybody jumped in on it. The media jumped in on it, movies, television, everybody got in on it. Not for the reason they should have, but because they thought, here is a ripe market for us to plunder. It's all about money. It's all about greed. Don't think for a second that Ubisoft cares about the black community. No. Don't think for a second that any of these groups that are looking to cash in on DEI, these aren't your friends. These people aren't your friends. They're not looking out for you. They're looking out for themselves. So they saw a trend coming. And you can thank Disney and Star Wars and, there's you can see this. If you look backwards, you could see all of this happening right before your eyes. And it's almost crazy that it wasn't apparent then. But suffice to say, how long does it take to make a game? A good game, a AAA game, big AAA game. 4 or 5 years? So suddenly, all of the social justice gaming, all of the modern audience gaming, however you want to designate what's happening in gaming, is suddenly coming to fruition because all of these giant projects are coming to an end, right? The Assassin's Creed Shadows, all of this stuff, the Concords, all of this stuff happened, was created at a time frame when there was a hot streak in a particular social situation. That's what it boils down to. They couldn't course correct, right? Or they'd have to admit they were wrong or whatever, for whatever reason. So now what we're getting is the fruit of these social justice gaming labors, right? And people are walking away. I mean, it's very evident. You look at the games, a lot of the games that are coming out now, people are avoiding them like the plague. And yes, some of them are doing fine. Some of them are doing well, whatever. But my point is, we're getting to the point now where people are getting fed up with games. So what do? Stop playing games? Hell no. We are fucking gamers, damn it. We're going to be playing games on our way to the freaking grave. Hey, grow up, you're 50, you don't need to play games. Bullshit, fuck that. So if we're going to play games and we don't like what you're selling us, what do you think we're going to do? We're going to go back and play shit we did like, right? That makes sense. Well, they realize that. They also realize that by going back and playing games emulated or playing your backlog of Steam library, they're not making any money. So you don't like what we got going on. You're not buying our shit. We're not making any money. Live service is on its fucking death gasp, thank God, right? So they're all in panic mode. Just like the music industry when MP3 and Napster showed up, right? They're in a panic mode because they know that it can end. I mean, you can say, oh, no, gaming is eternal. It's never going to die. Well, okay, right. But what sort of market are we talking about? What's going to be left of the scraps, right? So they figured it out. They cracked the code. Oh, you fuckers don't want to play as a Black Samurai? We got you covered. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go take a property that you do care about. We're going to take it. We're gonna put a sign under it that says remastered, and you're gonna buy it because you love that property. Now here's the bonus: we're gonna charge you a lot of money for it, and we're gonna sneak in some of this shit that we think you really want but you don't want because you're not buying our new games. But if we can slide a little of this social justice into these remasters, you fuckers will eat that shit up. And if you don't, here's what we're going to do. We're going to delist the games that you care about. We're going to shut off the servers of the games that you care about to make sure that your only option is to buy new shit, buy our loot boxes, buy our live service crap, or if you want to play the old stuff, we're going to make sure you're still paying us for it, one way or another. And it's all over the place, man. You can see it. Every fucking second there's a remaster. And you know who's mastered this concept? Do you know who practically invented remastering of games? You don't have to think hard. Just let it out. Just guess. Nintendo. Those bastards have been monetizing remastering as long as they've been around. And you know what? For Nintendo, it works. Those fuckers can sell you the same game of Mario Kart 10 fucking generations in a row, and not only will you buy it, you will fucking smile when you do it, even if it's $80. That's Nintendo. They can get away with that. But then Nintendo figured out a new way of capitalizing on the concept of the remake. I affectionately call these armored editions, right? So every time they have a slight bump in hardware, right? Wii to Wii U, whatever, the games come back again. Yeah, 14 versions of Skyrim. I believe there's 14 versions of Skyrim. One of my listeners just mentioned that. What are we going to call the 14 versions of Skyrim? Absolutely. And guess what? This sorry ass bought like 5 of them. I bought 5 of them, including the Nintendo Switch version. That's how bad they got me. And I'm trying to be the champion to avoid this crap, and I'm susceptible to it. My point, though, is Nintendo's figured it out. They figured out they can resell the same game with a different color at the end of it, right? They can add incremental value to the game, and you will fucking buy it over and over again. That's Nintendo's way. Then they figured out they could do it with third parties if they provide just enough hardware. And that's what they've been doing, is just enough hardware. That's their thing. Now, Switch 2 is a departure. This is brand new. Nintendo's under new management these days, right? So everybody has pissed and whined and complained that Nintendo's hardware is ass, right? It can't compete with the other, contemporaries of the gaming scene, right? Now, the GameCube, I guess the GameCube was a little bit off because the GameCube was pretty badass from a hardware point of view, but that was one of the only times. Now, the Switch 2, they said, listen, put your fucking money where your mouth is. You demand like current gen hardware, well, we're going to give it to you, but it's going to cost. And as a bonus for that, we're going to give armored editions of all the shit that you've been crying that you can't play on Switch. Oh, I can't play Elden Ring. Done. Oh, I can't play this, I can't play that. Done. And it's just because we're going to give you just enough hardware to get over the hump and get the developers. Because think about this. The developers fucking love Nintendo. Because now they get to rehash it. Even Electronic Arts is all jerking off in their fucking Afghan about being able to re-release old shit again to make more money. And that's what the remasters are for the PC land, right? But what you're seeing is, remastered, remakes, rehashes, armored editions going to Switch. But most companies don't want to rewrite from scratch. So they got Panic Button and these other groups to take impossible games, Witcher 3, Doom, all of these impossible games and turn them into Switch games. And they did a bang up fucking job, right? Those bastards deserve everything. But now that they've given a little bit more hardware and then some, now we're talking about the publishers losing their shit. They can't wait to get on board with the Switch 2. They can't wait because they get to resell the same fucking games they sold last year and the year before at a high price, paying the Nintendo tax. And Nintendo just gave them the green light to charge $80 for it. Woohoo! Yeah, that's gaming 2025, baby. I'm a huge fan. So if you reach out to me on the side and you say, hey, are you excited about Oblivion Remaster? Just I'm going to point you to this video. I'm going to point you to this, and this will help you understand. Listen, where's my Elder Scrolls 6, God damn it? How long do we have to wait for this? And what are we waiting for? Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. There you go. God damn, that was a great game, and I hate Harry Potter, and I love that game. There will be some bastards that will buy that game on Switch. And why shouldn't they? Even though, for the price, listen, I'm going to put something into perspective for you just a little bit. Take this however you want. The Switch 2 costs more than the Steam Deck. Wait, what? What? Yeah. It occurred to me the other night that at $449, that's $50 more than a Steam Deck. And people are like, oh, well, the OLED screen's a little sharper and blah, blah, blah. On the Switch 2, it looks like it's got better hardware. Actually, it probably doesn't. What you're seeing is a well-curated sizzle reel. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing the best of the best. Now, I'm not saying that the Switch 2 is not going to be a powerful system, because they figured out that this is what the people want until they don't want to pay the price for it, and they don't want to pay, 80 times 4 to get all their kids Mario Kart for Christmas, but whatever. When it comes to pure entertainment value, the Steam Deck stomps the Switch's ass up one side and down the other. Everybody should be buying Steam Decks. Fuck the Switch too, right? You want to play Elden Ring? We've been playing it for 2 fucking years, man. You want to play Hogwarts Legacy? You've been able to play that from day one on the Steam Deck. Why are we getting excited? Why are we all happy and overjoyed? Now listen, I'm going to be fair, and I am going to say that the new Donkey Kong game, even the new Mario Kart, at least they're trying something different, even though it's basically a Forza game at this point. And remember, we talked earlier, not a big Forza fan. And Mario Kart scratches the right itch. It's arcade, there's weapons, but for Christ's sake, man, I've played the same fucking Mario Kart game for the last 15 years, 20 years it may be at this point. Same game. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It boggles my mind that people are lining up. And then for like the Oblivion remaster, $50? Come on. VRR screen goes a long way of goodwill, right? But listen. VRR, now here's the thing you got to understand. Now, I'm gonna help out just a little bit. So variable refresh rate, VRR, that is a bullet point that is sort of pointless when you're talking about the Switch 2. Now, when you're talking about the ROG Ally, it means more. Let me explain. The Switch 2 is a closed ecosystem, right? Developers are going to target a frame rate for that machine. They're going to target 30, they're going to target 60, and they're going to make the game to spec, all right? So it's not like playing a high-end PC game on a shittier system or bouncing around frame rates, right? That's VRR is to help fix a problem. If the developers do their job, right? If the developers do their job, their VRR is a waste of material on the Switch 2. Looks great. It looks great on the back of the box, and it looks great in the checklist, 100%. But you have to ask yourself, what if the Switch 1 had VRR? What would that do for you? Where's your magic there? Is there any magic? No. VRR on the Switch 1 would be a complete waste of fucking time. And we all know it, right? But we think about it. We think about, oh man, VRR. Now, if you're going to hack the Switch 2 and, I don't know, put emulators on it or something like that, sure. I mean, there might be a possible use for it in the future. I'm just saying that, like, out of the box, right? It'd be like your car having a parachute. Shit, that sounds fucking great. I want a car with a parachute. When are you going to use it? Well, what if I drive off a cliff? Then I'll have a parachute. You ever see that episode of Knight Rider where Kit fucking has a parachute in the back? Yeah, that could be me. But let's be honest. Nobody's packing their fucking car with a parachute. You don't need it. That's how I feel about the VRR thing. Now, there are some very interesting things about the Switch 2. I'm not going to totally bag on it. It's just an example. And the Switch 2 is very convenient because of all the same fucking games we've all been playing for the last 3 or 4 years showing up like they're doing us a favor. Right? I feel insulted. You can finally play Elden Ring on the Switch. Yeah, Nintendo's got Elden Ring. Yeah. So what? My Steam Deck's had Elden Ring, and I'm paying less than your Switch. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't get it. So you get to play Elden Ring and Mario Kart on the same machine. I'm also doing that on my deck. But we won't talk about that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not jumping up and down. I'm not racing home. By the way, I will give Bethesda, Microsoft, whoever the fuck owns that property now, I will give them credit. No de novo copy protection on that remaster, which is actually fucking crazy. It's almost as crazy as Sony trying to force us to use PlayStation Network on a remastered single-player game. But it does happen. But not this time. So for those of you in the know, wink, wink, you can get your hands on that Oblivion remaster at a very great price. Very great price. It's available wherever you do that sort of shopping. So if you want to take it for a spin, let's not get to the $60 a hit numbers, and maybe it's the fucking bee's knees. I don't know. All I know is I kept trying to play Oblivion over and over again. I tried it on the 360. I tried it on the PC. I could never get into it. It was like a retarded Skyrim, right? I still use the word retarded. So that vernacular still exists over here. But it's like the little, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I've tried over and over and over again. Oh, it's so great. Meanwhile, it's like supposedly a little tiny map. The graphics looked like shit. And by the way, the controls, at least on the PC, were horrifying. You probably heard of the High Elves. I don't know what High Elves is. Somebody send me, put a link in the chat or something. I can check it out when I get back. I don't know what High Elves are. The only thing I know with elves is Elf Bowling for the DS. Anybody remember that shit? They literally took a Flash game and painted it onto a DS cartridge. I got like 7 copies of that because they were giving away for like 50 cents a piece at GameStop. I got all over that. Good for target practice. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not jumping up and down for the stealth drop of Oblivion, and now you kind of know why. So what am I playing? I'm playing Enshrouded, which is a last year's game, by the way. That'll probably show up on the Switch too, to much fanfare. And let's see. I'm trying to think of what I'm even looking forward to. You know what's crazy? This is how it works for me. I kind of get my game ideas from the NVIDIA graphic driver installers. Is anybody else like that? Like, I have no clue what's coming out because, one, I don't really pay attention because lots of what comes out is crap and it's just not my cup of tea. If I hear about one more fucking extraction shooter coming out, I'm going to take my own life. Who's asking for this? Who's asking for more live service fucking extraction shooters? Christ on their throne, can we have something else? Why can't somebody knock Call of Duty off? Why can't somebody knock them down? I mean, come on, man. It's a first-person shooter. Somebody's got to be able to come in and do Call of Duty like it used to be. Give me the old school Call of Duty from somebody who's not trying to sell me fucking dances and skins and 17 battle passes. Christ, man. Am I asking too much? Come on. Somebody's got to be able to dethrone Call of Duty. It has to be doable. I don't know. Anyway, I've worked myself up and now I need to calm down. So what else can we talk about? Man, you know, I've really been behind in my media. Oh, I guess I could talk about that mini PC a little bit. I've got a couple minutes before I hit the store. So I've been putting the mini PC through its tests. And for those of you who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, go back to yesterday's show or the show before that on Saturday, I think, and you can learn more about what I'm up to. But so I've been putting it through its tests, and so far I've gotten about what I thought I would get out of it, right? A $250 mini PC. How can that compare to a Steam Deck, right? So I've been doing tons of tests on things that I play on Steam Deck all the time, using SteamOS on this mini PC, right? And benching it, trying it out, seeing what works and what doesn't work. Then I'm going to plug it into a TV, and I'm going to use it as a game console, because that's what people buy Steam Decks for, which is the most retarded thing I've ever heard. At least if you're buying a Switch, it was actually meant to be plugged into a TV. So I'll give you that. I want a Steam Deck, but I'm going to have it hooked up to my TV 98% of the time. Is that a good buy for me? No! You're buying why don't you... So I'm looking to find a way of giving them an alternative, right? A mini PC that runs SteamOS that basically performs as well or better than a Steam Deck, that doesn't have all of the anchors and problems that Steam Deck has when running it on a TV. So far, it's proven to be about what I expected. So there'll be numerous videos. And somebody had asked, by the way, if I would look at video editing on there. So while I was in Windows, nuke the drive, dusted off, nuke the drive from Orbit. I did install DaVinci Resolve. I did some 4K editing. So you're going to get to see that video too. So whoever it was that suggested that in my poll, thank you for making a specific request, and I have granted your request. Your wish is granted. Well, listen, I think I've worked with friends. Starving. My eat window opens in 1 minute, and I got 30 minutes to starve, so I don't have a lot of time. It's 6 to 6:30 for my intermittent fasting ass. So yeah, I'm gonna get off of here, stuff my face with some jerky or something, and get my ass home, see my family for 2 seconds before they go off and do their shit. So listen, I hope you enjoyed the extra show this week. Again, I know I promised my regular subscribers that I wouldn't be putting a bunch of these shows out, but listen, they seem to be doing okay. People seem to like them, so why not? All right, this is Shane Arman, Rogue Pastor C Radio, saying we'll see you next time. Take care.